Salud Carbajal. I'm the current representative for the 24th Congressional District, and I'm running for re-election to continue to be the congressman to represent the 24th Congressional District. Well, I'm running to continue the work that I've been doing here in Congress representing the 24th Congressional District, and that is to be an effective representative for the Central Coast, to make sure that the priorities, the values, and the needs of the Central Coast are front and center, and to continue to ensure that the legislation that we pass here in Washington is considerate of the needs of the Central Coast, to make sure that we are bringing down costs to families, be it for housing, gas, food, childcare, to ensure that we continue to implement the legislation that we have passed this Congress for infrastructure investments, to make sure that we continue to invest in climate change, and that we continue to make sure that we are bringing down prescription drug costs. Well, I think I'm very proud of the fact that we've been able to move significant legislation that bring investments to the Central Coast and the rest of our country. For example, infrastructure. We moved legislation forward that will now bring resources to modernize our infrastructure, our roads, our bridges, broadband connectivity, drought assistance, fire prevention assistance. We've been able to do all that. And secondly, we've been able to move forward proposals that will bring the largest investment in addressing climate change than we have ever done in our country, to make sure we're bringing down energy costs and that we are bringing down prescription drug costs. Those are two significant things that we've been able to do. Significant investments in community projects that will go to providing more housing opportunities for people, to shore up our healthcare system, and to make sure that we are providing more to make our community safer and our public safety. Those are just some of the things that I've been working on that I want to be able to continue to work on in the next Congress. I think what the community needs most right now is that we work assertively to bring down costs of living, costs for food, costs for gas and energy, costs for childcare and housing, and to make sure that we continue to do everything to ensure that families can get ahead during this time of inflation and additional costs. That is the number one thing that I'm working on right now, to make sure that we can make sure that families have support during this difficult time. I think what I want voters to know most about me is that I'm a good listener, and I have been fighting for the priorities of the Central Coast here in Washington in a way that meets our needs and helps us address the challenges that we are facing day in and day out. And I want them to know that I've been effective, and I have a track record of effectiveness in delivering resources, investments, and addressing those challenges. And I want them to know that I will continue to fight and be a strong advocate for making sure that the needs of the Central Coast are addressed here in Washington day in and day out. Excellent question. I, first of all, will continue to make sure that the cost of living that everybody's experiencing is reduced, and that residents on the Central Coast and throughout our country get the support and resources they need. Secondly, infrastructure, to make sure that all the projects and the resources that we have committed actually get implemented, so that we have broadband connectivity, that we have more housing, that we have our roads and bridges modernized, that we provide more for the drought that we're experiencing in helping local communities diversify their water supply, that we do everything possible to reduce fires in our communities. I will continue to fight for those, and I will continue to make sure that we move forward to make sure our communities continue to remain safe, and that we protect a woman's right to choose and right to reproductive care that they choose. Thank you so much. This is a challenging time, and I am committed to making sure that the Central Coast needs and priorities are addressed here in Washington. We continue to provide exceptional constituent service when people call our office and they have needs or challenges with any federal agency. My team and I, my staff and I, have worked and continue to work aggressively to make sure that those that are experiencing challenges with the federal government get the assistance that they need and deserve. And I will continue to fight for the Central Coast to make sure that our needs and priorities are front and center.